you very much. And welcome to the Community Miracle Center. Everyone that's here today, on the new people, and all of the people lined up in the back there, just come forward. What's everybody laughing? Tony. And welcome to all of you out in, I want to say La La Land, but YouTube land, who are experiencing me for the first time. So I'd like to start out by introducing myself, because some of you don't know me here, and I know most of the people out there in YouTube land do not know me. But I became a minister on January 14th, 1995. I was the 13th A Course in Miracles minister. And I believe now there are, what, 50-some, 60-some?
89.
89. Oh, wow, I'm way off. I stand corrected, 89. And so I came here from Chicago, and where I had a spiritual awakening there, or I call it a spiritual emergence. And even sometimes I think of it as a dark night of the soul. And at that time I made a commitment to God that I would become a minister. And that was a real stretch for me, because, you know, that isn't the background I came from. I'm an entrepreneurial woman, and in my younger days I hung out in nightclubs and got high and probably drank too much and did a lot of the things that we did back in the 60s and 70s. So this was a real shift for me. But the spiritual guidance brought me here to the Bay Area. And unbeknownst to me at the time, I found a church that could ordain ministers, and I thought, oh, okay, this is good for me. And for me, there wasn't a question about whether A Course in Miracles was a church or a religion or anything like that. I wasn't really thinking in that direction. And yeah, we know that some people think it's not supposed to be a religion. But for me, it was really important, because it helped me to really complete my mission as far as becoming a minister, goes. I looked at other churches and programs, and you know, once you've studied the Course, the other programs are not a match. You can't really be a Baptist or a Catholic or anything, a Protestant, anything else. It's only A Course in Miracles that works. So I taught ACIM for 1 year in the text. I worked as an administrative assistant here for 2 years, and I helped put on our very first San Francisco International Conference. And that was a lot of fun, and it was a great experience. That was the year 2000, the Millennial Conference. And I occasionally now give Sunday talks. So speaking of Sunday talks, for those of you who have not gotten the email about what this is about, I'm going to give you a little hint here. A Course in Miracles says, this is A Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. So your decision to study A Course in Miracles or come here today is a step towards creating a new and different life than you led before. You are not brought to the Course by accident. This transformational path, in my mind, has 3 keys that unlock a new way of life for you. Or you might even think of it as it unlocks a door to happiness and peace. And it's for you and for those who look to you for inspiration. Join Reverend Linda this Sunday as she shares her understanding of our commitment to create through this life-changing thought system. And I chose this topic because I am enamored with the creative process. In fact, it's important to me. And I think we often think of creativity as an art form, whether we are writing something or we're dancing or painting, using the visual arts to create something in the material world. And I've been very involved with that for a lot of years, and I love the idea of the process where something comes into your mind and you want to channel it through you and get it off on paper. And I've done that a number of times, and I wrote this book. It's called Marry Yourself First. So I am a writer, and some of you may have purchased that book through the bookstore. And last year I released actually my first children's book. It's called A Return to Noah's Ark, Finding a Better Way, The Untold Story. And it's a really sweet little children's book about love and forgiveness. And I don't say that it's course related, but it's course related. How can it not be? So, I've also, most of my careers that I've had have also been artistic. Graphic design, as a hairstylist. Today I even wore my Vera Wang kind of painted shirt, so I'm all ready to go here. So we think of creativity as a particular human expression, and in a sense we are all artistes, whether we're creating a painting or a song or a children's book, we are always creating. But A Course in Miracles has a little bit different take on this because they interpret it differently. And what they say, what the Course says, is that we are creating all the time, just like it said in the reading for today. The mind is very powerful and never loses its creative force. It never sleeps. In every instant, it is creating. And so what we're here to talk about today is we're creating our life journey. In every moment, it's not about the art on paper, but it's about the art of our life and our spirit and our own spiritual journey here. And the Course uses the word create or miscreate. In the title of my talk, I said to create or not to create, but it really should be to create or miscreate. So I've lost my place. Okay, here we go. So in my introduction, I have the 3 keys that unlock the door to freedom and happiness. And what they do is they prevent us from creating the good, the bad, and the ugly. But these 3 keys, in my mind, are key number 1, thought, or the thought aspect towards either love and forgiveness or anger and hatred. And what brings to mind that is the current problem with terrorism. Our words is key number 2. Words that are kind and gentle always help us to lead us in the right direction towards the heavenly state that we're looking for. And also our actions, and actions that are meaningful. And these 3 keys are, as we all know, no secret. So A Course in Miracles says that we are a thought in the mind of God, and our connection and communication with God is always through our thoughts. Chapter 1 says, "Child of God, you were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not forget this." And I thought that was really interesting. We are created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. That's it. And it certainly trumps the good, the bad, and the ugly. No pun intended. So the Course gives us solutions for this, and this problem of creating or miscreating. It says, "Whenever you are afraid, it is a sure sign that you have allowed your mind to miscreate, and have not allowed me to guide it." So what Jesus is speaking here, and he's basically saying, you're shutting me out if you don't come to me whenever you're in fear. The Course also says the fundamental conflict in the world then is between creation and miscreation. All fear is implicit in the second, and all love in the first. The conflict therefore is between love and fear. But what if you miscreate? What if you're in fear, anger, jealousy? We're considered miracle workers by the Course, and we are guided to give up our miscreations. Otherwise, we will not ever get to that point where we are creating the good and the beautiful and the holy. The Course says it is essential to remember that only the mind can create, and that correction belongs at the level of thought. It goes on to say, it is obvious then that inducing the mind to give up its miscreations is the only application of creative ability that is truly meaningful. And I find that really a powerful thing to say, because again, it's giving up these miscreations, our anger, our fear, our anything that disturbs our peace of mind, is the only application of creative ability that is truly meaningful. And really what it's saying here, and we can take this with us on to use on a daily basis, is keep a watch on our minds and give up negative thoughts. Now that's not exactly an easy thing to do, because in the world we're challenged with a lot of things, and that's why we've got the course, to help us through those times when we're stuck in traffic, and you're supposed to be somewhere and you're late, or somebody cuts you off, or all the myriad of things that can happen when you're traveling around the Bay Area, or all of a sudden they tell you your rent's going up by an astronomical amount, which seems to be happening a lot here in the Bay Area. So these are things that will cause us to miscreate and go into distress. But the good news is that we have the course to take us to a better place. Going back to our 3 keys to unlock a new life and open the door. Again, we want to keep in mind our thoughts, key number 1, our words, key number 2, and 3, our actions. And as long as these 3 keys are in alignment, they will unlock that door, and they will be effective in helping us to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. And if you take away anything from today, I'd like for you to take away the importance of your awareness of your personal responsibility, because that's what the course is. It's a path that encourages us to be personally responsible for everything that we do or everything that happens to us. And it's so important to always go within for guidance and ask before we do anything or say anything that we will be sorry for later. So we use our free will to create or to paint the journey, the life that we want. And remember that what we create affects us and those people around us. It is a life-changing thought system that tells us how to be free of threatening circumstances, and instead we can live a happier and kinder life. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.